All right, what's up, y'all? The fellas are back. It's been a little second. I'm joined by our two. Let me think of a good adjective. I'll just use great. My two great co-hosts, Icy. How you doing?
Good. What's up, everybody?
And Mac. How you feeling tonight?
Doing all right. Can't complain too much.
That's great to hear. So we've had a little NBA action going on. I'm gonna recap the first round real quick, but for our one seeds, it was two pretty easy series for both teams. We had the Celtics take down the Heat in pretty handily fashion. Uh, Miami did steal a game, but the Celtics got the 4-1 series victory. They're playing the Cavs right now, and I believe they're losing. I could be wrong about that, but
Oh yeah,
last
they're
time I
losing.
checked, they're losing. Okay. And the Thunder swept the Pelicans, the Zionless Pelicans, but the Pelicans nonetheless. It's a playoff
Don't
team.
let Thunder fans hear that.
Hey, hey, Rex is cooking so far. Shout out Rex. And then we had the Mavericks take down the Clippers in a 4-2 series. Shout out to Luca and the fellas and all our Mavs friends. On the other side, we have the Cavs take a pretty. People were saying that it was. People were like, "Oh, Cavs Magic. Who's gonna watch that?" That's a pretty good series outside of that 40-point victory of the Magic. But I enjoyed watching that series for sure. Then we had the Pacers take down the Bucks in a hilarious. I hated that Giannis was out, but it was still funny. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sorry to any Bucks fans that watch this, but I kind of laughed. I did. Dame also got hurt too, so they're gonna want to throw an asterisk, even though their championship run had an asterisk on it. Anyways, the Timberwolves and the Suns. I mean, wipe the hands. Anthony Edwards, congratulations, good job. I'm a little biased. Go Dogs. Nuggets and Lakers. That one hurt my heart. I know Icy can say the same thing. That one hurt to watch. With as much as the Lakers led in that series, it was like a 3-1 ratio in minutes of how much they led, and that one
I
hurt.
was ready to pour honey on my goat.
Man, that one hurt. We had the honey ready. Call us Winnie the Pooh, man. It was tough, but shout out to the Nuggets. They're kind of struggling right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. And then the Knicks and 76ers, and also one of the very eventful series. That I'll say this: playoff basketball in Madison Square Garden is undefeated. That is a. I get why they call New York the Mecca of basketball. That was very eventful, and to actually watch them win the series and play a team that's not the Cavaliers, that was fun. But I wanted to ask y'all, what series stood out to you the most in y'all's opinion? Which one was like the most eye opening about any of these teams that either won or lost, honestly? But I'll start with you, Icy.
Most eye opener for me. Mm, Trying to think. I'll probably go with. You talking about a round one series, right?
Yeah, round one.
Um, that's a good ass question. Damn. Um,
I do my best.
I'm probably gonna have to say the Nuggets, just because there was glaring mistakes.
Hmm.
Like they're not the same team from last year, and I talked about it a little bit, but everybody kind of brushed it off their shoulders because everybody likes to troll the Lakers. It's like the fun thing to do, but that team actually has real problems, like real problems. Everybody else, like I think, like they are what they are. To be honest,
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, especially just thinking about how many opportunities the Lakers had to, I mean, really win that series. I mean, if you think about it, they easily could have won that series. But
you won that series.
yeah. So Mac, which series would you say stood out to you the most?
Honestly, going into it, I mean, Timberwolves Suns look like a really fun series. Kevin Wayne and D Book can't take a game.
I
Not a singular game was taken by the Suns. Obviously,
mhm.
Absurd. But I don't know. I don't think anybody expected Jaden McDaniels to have the offensive output that he had.
I
But,
mean,
that
they got KD, but we got Jaden McDaniels. So
yeah, he was right. You very very much right.
my goat, man, my goat. Um, I'm gonna be honest. As much as I want to, you know, brag on my Georgia guy and shout out the Thunder at the same time for them looking good, even though it was Zionless. Um, I'm gonna say the Knicks and the 76ers. Now I know Embiid was hurt, but he's hurt literally every time he steps foot on the playoff court. But outside of the atmosphere, Jalen Brunson has been incredible. I have to, as much as me being a Hawks fan, as much as I have agendas against Jalen Brunson, or maybe not Jalen, but the Knicks. That what they've done so far has been incredible to me. They are a legit basketball team. Shout out Josh Hart, shout out Dante DiVincenzo, and shout out to Jalen Brunson, all the Villanova boys. That it is, to me, it's incredible what they're doing right now because I did not think that they had that type of clutch gene in them. Now you can say that, oh, you just casual, you haven't watched the Knicks that much, but it's more the fact of it's happening in the playoffs. Like, not that they haven't done this, but it's just the playoffs are a whole different stage, and you're doing it in New York. That's respect because I did not see that happening, to say the least. So shout out to them. I think that's, to me, they've been the most eye popping right now. I don't think they're going to win the finals or anything, but just in terms of what they've done so far, shout out to them. But to segue into the second round, how do y'all feel about this? Because we have Boston's losing right now, but they do have a 1-0 series lead. And if the Cavs could steal a game, that would be huge for their momentum. But I don't really see them winning the series. Maybe I'm crazy. I just personally don't see them winning the series. The Thunder are 1-up on the Mavericks, and I did want to ask y'all, how do y'all feel about their defense, the Mavericks defense? Because I saw where you tweeted, and if they don't figure out their defense, especially with Luka shooting that bad, I mean, that man was in the torture chamber, but if they don't figure out that defense, I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah. Without Maxi Kleber for the rest of the way, that's obviously going to hurt them on both ends of the court because that's their shooting big, and he can check. He can check SGA better on the switches, and he can get good contests on the weak side against Chet. But usually a defense they run in the playoffs is just like an easy rotation. Sometimes teams like in the Nuggets and Lakers series, I saw it a lot. Like what the Knicks did last series against the
Hang on, I don't mean to cut you off. I see. What do y'all have a phone on?
It was my fault.
Okay, no, it was just I could just hear a lot of buzzing in the back. I didn't know what it was. But continue.
But yeah,
my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
a lot of teams, so we call it triangle, which is really done on the weak side of the ball, but sometimes they do it on the strong. But a lot of teams rotate and they just rotate over, but it's a trust thing. And what I saw, I mean, if you're a Mavs fan, they always talked about like game one Mavs usually don't show up. It's usually like a fill out game. If you're a Braun fan, everybody knows about the game one Braun. He be chilling. He don't really be doing anything. He just be filling out what the other team is gonna do. But yeah, they're gonna be smoked if they're not going to rotate fast enough, or just like a string on defense, and then they got to figure out like, okay, Luka's dealing with a knee injury. He's gonna take a lot of jumpers, but someone gotta tell Luka like, yo, like you're not getting the same elevation off. Mm-hmm. So you either gotta get to the midi like you usually do and make your shots, or it's like you kind of have to really be the backseat to Kyrie. And Kyrie's I still think they're very capable of winning like that, but it's going to be less likely.
Hmm. And Mac, you can pick whichever series you want to talk about. It can be either your C's or the Nuggets and Timberwolves, but both. I don't actually. Which one do you want to talk about real quick? Because you can pick one to talk about. Um,
I
actually,
guess I'm watching. I'm watching on my TV, so I'll talk about the Celtics.
all right.
Yeah, this series is over in 5. They just lost pretty bad at home again
Oh, they did
in
lose.
game. Oh yeah, it's over. First time they didn't hit
Oh
100.
my God! I just saw the
Yeah,
score. Sorry.
yeah, no, I don't know what it is this playoffs. Teams just play really good game twos, but yeah, no. Jared Allen's probably not gonna come back for the rest of the series. Uh, hey, you can't win games when you shoot 1 of 15 from 3.5. It's
Mhm.
just not gonna happen. Yeah, no, honestly, it's whatever. Uh, hey, the Celtics are due to troll at least one game in a series, so.
Mhm.
I mean, hey, this is best. I mean, I've been saying this all year. This is the best Celtics team in my lifetime. I mean, they're gonna win the next 2 in Cleveland, and then they'll close out in Boston. I can't wait for the overreactions on Twitter. I'm sure that they will be very rational.
Oh yeah, you're definitely going to get some trolls tonight. I can't lie.
But
Drew Holiday has 4 points in 34 minutes. Jesus. Um,
yeah,
wow, holy stinker. Nah. Um, I guess for me, I mean, even if you guys somehow went down 2-1, I wouldn't be worried at all. And like that's just in the realm of possibilities. If somehow you lost game 3, I wouldn't be worried at all. That's just me. Which I mean, losing KP does hurt, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. Especially if they lost. If you're saying they just lost Jared Allen, um,
Jared
I,
Allen's done. Yeah, no, they're as a team, they're shooting. I mean, this is pretty much a carbon copy of what happened game 2 against Miami. I mean, they're shooting 52% from 3 and 58% from the field. So, I mean,
yeah. If to anyone who has the real app, if you go on the real app right now and look at the whole Cavs roster, I'll just read the numbers real quick. Just going from top to bottom in the players, they're shooting 55%, 60%, 50%, 62%, 50%, 100%. Tristan Thompson is shooting 0%. He's taking one shot. And then 50% and 50%. So, yeah. They're home one right now, to say the least. Yeah, 13 to 25 from 3, 44 of 77 from the field. Yeah, that's. I don't know if that's going to happen again. They're all
yeah,
shooting
no,
above 50. That's crazy.
yeah, I expect. I mean, hey, it happens for whatever reason. I don't know. They'll win in 5. Just got to readjust, and that's pretty much it.
Hmm.
Not
And
much else to really talk about, honestly. Just as long as Derek White doesn't shoot like garbage and Jason Tatum stops shooting toward eights,
yeah,
they'll be good.
doing his best Trey Young versus Miami impression. Um, I will say this Timberwolves Nugget series has been shocking for the fact of they did not have the DPOY in Rudy Gobert and then come out and absolutely destroy Denver like that. Like it wasn't even close. I mean that game wasn't close. Like to anyone who watched that game, that was some of the best playoff defense I think I've ever seen for a straight half. And it carried over into the second half, but it was just for that first half, that was like straight jacket, like 10, 15 people on the court. We are going to lock you up. From half court to your basket, it's straight defense. There's no slack. Like that was incredible. And to do it, and to not just do it against like the Pelicans or the Heat, against last year's champions, the MVP without your DPOY, that was incredible. That was incredible. I keep saying incredible. That's what it was. I don't know how y'all felt about it, but I couldn't believe my eyes, honestly.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy when the defending champs who brought almost everyone back, their bench is weaker. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, it's pretty incredible that they got smoked at home 2 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I don't know. It's really surprising, but it shouldn't be that surprising considering the fact that they led less in the series they won in 5 against the Lakers.
Yeah.
Like what was it? The Lakers led for about 150 minutes and the Nuggets led for like 50 minutes
Yeah,
in that
it was
entire.
like 50, 60 minutes the whole series.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Jamal, it doesn't seem like they're gonna be able to come back. They just don't. They don't feel like they have any juice.
yeah, and like I see, we were talking about this, um, but the Timberwolves are the one team that has matched up really well with the Nuggets, especially in from this year and then last year too. I mean, I think they gave them the hardest series out of all of them. Well, the Lakers did okay, but we were saying that this was their kryptonite, and that was the word that you brought up that really stuck with me. And it's proven true now. I mean, they are truly their kryptonite right now. They could obviously turn it around. They have the MVP. They have Jamal Murray, who was playing insane and has been for the past 2 years. But I don't know. Shout out to the Timberwolves. That's all I got to say. Vikings Dynasty, Evil Empire, Minnesota. Shout out to y'all. Happy for y'all.
Shout out to them boys.
Yes, shout out to them boys.
And have y'all been watching this Knicks and Pacers series? Did y'all watch those games?
Yeah.
Been able to.
Well, I see. What do you think about Game 1? Just if you did watch it.
Game one. Game one was interesting. I think. Damn, my fault. What was game? No, it was game 2 was yesterday, right? Or was that game 1?
Yeah, it was Game 2. Game 1 was
Yeah,
the Halliburton stinker.
Oh yeah, game 1. I don't really have too much to go about that. It's just like the Knicks just showed up to play, and like the Pacers kind of, they didn't do the stuff they needed to win. They was giving up offensive rebounds, and it's crazy because in game 2, I think it was more on coaching that really fumbled the game for them. But if you check the stats, I think the Pacers beat them in offense and defensive rebounding, but they had 5 more offensive boards in the last like 5 minutes in the game, and that's what eventually won them the game. I mean, Hart going out, he putting his body on the line. I think it was OG had 28. I think Dante had 28, and then what's his face had 28.
I got it right here.
Brunson, something like that.
Brunson had 43.
Oh yeah, 43 game 2. My fault.
Mm-hmm. He's been crazy, dude.
I know someone had. I know it was like three or 2 people like with 28.
Yeah, Hart had 24. Dante had 25. Brunson had 43. And yeah, that was the bulk of their score.
Yeah.
But it was really the ending of that game. From the kickball to the out of bounds play, that was all crazy. And the God, I'm so sick of the refs. And I don't know if y'all saw what had happened.
That kickball wasn't even a kickball.
He slapped the ball with his hand.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? You're going to blow that call? And it's unreviewable. I think that's the most annoying thing. I understand the pace of play for the game, but like, I feel like within the last 90 seconds of a game, when it comes down to that, I don't care how long it takes. I'd rather you get it right. I understand that you have other things that are going on, but I'd rather you get it right. Like, if they had like a VAR type thing that soccer does where they could just, I don't know, touch their ear, have a microphone, and be like, talking to somebody up at a booth, I think that'd be perfect. It would help the pace of play, and you could get things right more often and not have to slow things down. Like, same thing with baseball. Like, I don't understand why that's not a thing. I don't understand why we have to have the umpires or referees on the field have to be the ones that make the call when we have the technology now where we can easily show it on the board and show the correct stuff. Like, that's always annoyed me about sports in today's time, but I could rant about that for 35 minutes, to be honest with you. But
yeah,
to finish off the bracket recap. Do y'all have any upsets happening besides the Timberwolves and Nuggets? Because that's a 3-2, so I'm not going to call that too much of an upset. But we have the Mavericks, Thunder, we have the Cavs, Celtics, and we have the Pacers and Knicks. Do y'all see any three of the lower seeds in that beating the higher seeds? Because right now all the higher seeds lead.
Oh man, I'd say the Mavs, but the way they're looking, Luka looks gassed already.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't, I don't know. I don't think so. Just for the simple fact that I don't know. I think that the talent disparity is pretty big, and also the Mavs are just. I mean, when Luka's not hitting his shots, it's pretty hard to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I see. What about you?
I'm picking. Trying to think. So if I can see one team win it against the higher seeds, probably the Mavs. The Mavs probably got the best shot. I know it was game one and the shit was kind of nasty the way Luka was shooting like 1 for 8 or 1 for 7. But like I said, it's game one Mavericks. If you know it, you know it.
Yeah.
Tonight they played tonight, so I should see better adjustments. Plus, they wasn't even towards like the end of the game. Like, yeah, they eventually OKC eventually like extended the game, but it was basically like like a 6 point ball game, 8-10. Then go like the 2-1. Like that was that type of ball game. It was real close.
Mhm.
Basketball is a game to run, so
Yeah, that's what I mean. The Cavs ended that game on it said like 16-6 run or something like that. So yeah, the game that
yeah.
was just on. But for me, God, if the Pacers could have got that game one, I honestly might have picked them to win this series in 6, just because of how they've played them. They've played like kind of bad, and they've been in every single game. They have made both these games competitive. And with Halliburton played terrible that first game, and they honestly should have won. And then last game he played better, but what's his name? Naismith. I think it was Naismith was playing awfully on defense, and the Knicks have just made so many clutch shots. It's actually crazy. But it's not like the Pacers have been out of it. It's not like they're getting blown out. Like game one was 117 to 121, and game two was 130 to 121. But they only won by 9 because their coach got thrown out, and they had 2 techs called on them at the end of the game. I mean, like these games have been really close and decided, quite honestly, by some referee calls. I'm not gonna lie to you, but and the Knicks making clutch shots. Like I can't take credit away from that. I don't know. I'm gonna be. I guess I'm just gonna be different, and I'm gonna say the Pacers could turn things around, especially going back home. If they were able to win both games, I may honestly pick the Pacers. But it's all gonna fall on the shoulders of Tyrese Halliburton. And to segue from our playoffs, we also had the NBA awards announced. At least a couple of them. I don't know if they did all of them, but congratulations to, and I'm going to read this off on the NBA website. Nikola Jokic becomes the second player in NBA history to have at least 2,000 points, 900 rebounds, and 700 assists in a season. And he is the recipient of the Michael Jordan Trophy as the 2023-2024 NBA MVP. That's incredible. He is the 9-year NBA veteran from Serbia is the 9th player to win 3 or more MVPs, joining Kareem, Mike, Bill, Wilt, Bron, Larry, Magic, and Moses Malone. Shout out to him. That's incredible. Especially with him, the fact that he was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial.
That was a good looking burrito.
Hey, the quesarito, that was one of my favorites. I ain't gonna lie. But I can't believe that he has the same amount of MVPs as Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Moses Malone. That's crazy. That is crazy to wrap my head around. But I do want to know, do y'all agree with him winning the MVP this year? Personally, I do. I think he was the MVP. I know SGA had an incredible season. But if we're talking about just, well, I don't know. I feel like if I say that sentence, then it would also apply to Shea. But for me, I just had Jokic as my MVP. But I see. How do you feel? How do you feel?
I'm gonna pull a Shaq. Congratulations, Jokic, for getting the MVP, but he didn't deserve that shit. Um, the way that throughout the court, all right, history is storytelling at the end of the day. Especially you talking about leagues and stuff like that. The league, like there always have to be like a certain storyline with the player, and it feels more cultured. I think the culture values it, and it feels like I'll put it. It feels like more at home. I want to say, if y'all understand what I'm trying to say,
Mhm.
like there's a certain feeling when there's a story behind how a person won MVP that year. Like, example, Russell Westbrook. He won it after I think when KD left. That team was horrible, no spacing whatsoever. He had triple doubles out the ass. I mean, and he put what he got. I think OKC to like a fifth seed in the West.
Yes.
When without a doubt, like when there were superstars everywhere,
Mm.
like, and he like everybody sees like he put his body on the line. Like, there's no way like you can't like appreciate that. When I see from Jokic, um yes, he had what 32 or like what it was like 68 double doubles and 32 triple doubles this year.
Mm.
Um, but at the and this is no Jokic hate because I think he's a fabulous basketball player. But just how some people brought the argument for like I remember when Russ was still doing it, Luka was doing it, Braun was still doing it. They was getting triple doubles. The thing was is like yo, triple doubles is an overrated stat now. Like it doesn't contribute to winning basketball. And I think that stick with Luka a lot this year. Whereas like yo, he got a lot of stats, but then like they're empty calorie stats. Like yo, you get in the stats, but they're not contribute to winning. I can say the same that I can say the same thing for Jokic a lot of the times, especially during the series against the Lakers. It was what last year in the playoffs, game one, like what he had like what a double double in the first quarter. Yeah, that was
Yes.
amazing. At the end of the game, what couple of the games, especially like game two and game three, he had of this year's series against the Lakers. He was putting up numbers, but you can make the case where like he wasn't the best player playing wise in that series. You can make the case that AD was just up there with him. Um, and I see that throughout the whole season. Like Jokic was, like I said, he was putting up numbers, but they just wasn't like it wasn't impactful. Plus, when I look at SGA and Luca, I don't think he was really going to win it, but he made like there was a part during the season where like he just put on the cape and was taking over ball games and getting his teammates involved.
Mm.
SGA, I mean, hands up for you gotta give credit when credit is due. OKC, what is the one seed, youngest one seed I think in the history, right?
Yeah, they were. I think for one seed, yeah, and then they were like the second youngest team to win a playoff game or something like that. I don't remember or playoff series or something like that. I couldn't tell you.
And it's like he's leading the charge there. Plus he's consistently getting 30. And I think a
Mr.
lot of
31.
yeah, and a lot of people were saying like, yo, the three throw merchant stats. He was twerking. We wasn't really twerking for fouls, but his game is unique. Um, that could be a knock against him, but anything else, like he plays great defense. He uses the mid range game to where people they don't they don't see it like as a D Book or Kyrie or Jalen Brunson, for example. Like Shy uses the mid range game totally different, which is it's very unique. If you haven't watched him play, you should now, but
Mhm.
if you haven't, you should definitely watch SGA play. But yeah, I don't like those like Luca and SGA. I don't want to keep yapping, but like they have better storylines, and it's more it's more of a, like the local fan or the casual fan can like connect to, other than Jokic, where you like yeah everybody said he's the best player in the world, but he's not really doing anything to where like he made his team better this year. I feel like.
Mhm. And Mac, do you have anything to bounce off of that?
But Jokic winning the MVP?
Yes.
Well deserved. Best player in the world. Uh, I mean, I don't really care too much about the playoff talk. I mean, it's MVP is a regular season award. Uh,
Hmm.
he's a regular season machine when it comes to triple doubles. Pretty much every advanced stat likes him pretty much over almost anybody except maybe Luca in some regards. But yeah, no, he table sets for the Nuggets better than anybody else, than any other player in the league on any other team.
Hmm.
Uh, he's probably the most seamless fit in the NBA. Like you could put him on literally any other team and they are significantly better because his play style is he could just pretty much adapt to whatever situation that he's in. Uh,
Hmm.
Shoot, you saw that when Jamal Murray and MPJ were out.
Yes.
Uh, guy was carrying absolute bums to the playoffs. Bones Highland, starting point guard. I mean, come on. Shoot, DeAndre Jordan was getting significant minutes,
I
but
forgot about that.
yeah, but yeah, no, I don't know. That's why I don't know. That's why they should announce who the MVP is before the playoffs start, because then you get all these narratives when the postseason and regular season are completely different. But yeah, no, Jokic, best player in the world, deserved. He was also they owed him this one after what Kendrick Perkins nastily did last year.
Now, see, that's the see just like how you said like I agree with you. They should definitely. I don't know why they stopped doing it. Like they stopped handing out the reward right after the season. They do it during the playoffs, like or after the season is totally over with. Like it's kind of stupid. But with Joel, like last year, you could make the case like he was MVP. But we're just talking about regular season. Then you saw how he played during the playoffs. He stunk the joint up. And everybody was like, "Oh, like that's where all the fraud talk for Joel was coming last year because they saw how he was in the playoffs." Personally, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
But
And yeah, I get what both you are saying, especially right now. I mean, with how Jokic has been. I mean, I don't want to. It's hard to say that somebody has been. I mean, not exposed, but like you look at his stats, and you're like, my God, dude. Like, yeah, they lost, but he still has like just 2016 and 10, and it's just like Jesus Christ. But
call a spade a spade.
yeah, yeah.
The box stores don't tell y'all like it don't tell the viewer or the person that hasn't watched the game like how really the game went. He's been
Hmm.
putting up crazy numbers, but if you look at the games, what has Jokic really been doing?
Yeah,
Oh, in the T-Wolves series, oh, nobody's been doing anything.
yeah.
I mean, yeah,
That's,
T was Swift's, yeah, but even in the Lakers series, like he had, I'm now, he had, I would say, like he matched up. There was one game where he took over the game, but then like the other games, like you can make the case where, like I said, AD's been right there with them. It wasn't like it was last year, where it's like, yo, like Jokic just completely dominating the game.
Hmm. Like in that Lakers series, um, Game 1, he had 32. Let's see, 32, 12, and 7. Game 2, he had, oh my God, 27, 20, and 10. Game 3, he had 24, 15, and 9. Game 4, he had 33, 14, and 14. Game 5, he had 25, 20, and 9. And then in this series, he's yet to have a game with 10 assists, but he's been right there. He's at 9 and 8. But game 1 and game 2, he had 32, 8, and 9 in game 1. And then in game 2, he had 16, 16, and 8. So, like, he's still putting up stats, but you are right in the fact that, it's not exactly producing as much. Because, like, in that Lakers series, he has a positive plus minus in almost every single game. The only game he didn't was game 4, which they lost. But as I'm checking these real quick, every single game he's had a positive plus minus. And in both of the Timberwolves games, he's been minus 12 and minus 16. So, I mean, not to be like the ultimate box score watcher, but I don't know.
He's just tailor made to win MVPs because he just puts up insane numbers, and they happen to win as a result of it.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I read about him, the second player in NBA history to have at least 2K points, 900 rebounds, and 700 assists. Like, truly incredible. Truly incredible. I don't know who the other one is, but I could probably Google it as we transition. Is there anything else?
So, what was the? Hold on, wait. What was the stat? He's the second player to average how much?
2,000 points, 900 rebounds, and 700 assists.
I think that's the second person is probably Will Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Any big stats? Shoot, just default is still
no.
to this day. Well,
actually, no, it's not.
Is it Bill Walton?
No.
Kareem?
No.
Is it a center?
It's actually a guard.
Is it a guard? Is it Magic Johnson?
Nope.
Oh my God.
It's one the old Mr. Triple Double.
Oh, Oscar. The Big
O. Big O. It was Big O.
Oscar
Robertson. Oscar Mayer. No, he had 2,900 and 800 actually. So shout out to him. Actually, he had 2,400, 900, and 800 in 1961. Good Lord.
Damn.
He almost had. Sorry. He was one assist away from being 24, 900, 900. He had 899 assists that season. He was one away. Shout out to the Big O.
Yeah. But yeah, no, not to interrupt, but I think Luka almost lost his two front teeth. Just hit the deck pretty hard.
Ooh.
And then he hits a 3.
Yeah.
What a legend.
But nah, I think another thing about the Jokic MVP thing, a lot of the time, I think NBA does this throughout yearly, like as a yearly thing, but like they move the goalposts a lot when it comes to MVP talk. Like, we understand that Jokic is the best in the world. Everybody says he's the best in the world, no matter what. But I mean, there's been plenty of guys like LeBron's MVP. His last MVP was in 2014, but there was a stretch like 14, 15, 16. I can say like 18, and then it stopped, and then like 2020, like he's definitely deserving of MVPs, but they just keep moving the goalposts.
Yep.
I feel like they did it with Jokic.
They change like what they're looking for, like every either year or every.
I would say like 80% of MVPs have been pretty consistent. When it really got wonky was when Ross averaged a triple double.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of the time it was best player, best team, or you were a top 3 seed with really good numbers. That was pretty much. I mean, that was pretty much the criteria for the longest.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I'll say with how skillful the NBA is becoming. I mean, it's hard to just have one guy that truly stands out because there's with how good the league is now, there's multiple guys that probably deserve the MVP versus just you don't just have Kobe averaging 36 in a season and being like, you know what, it's probably the MVP. Did he even win MVP that year? When he averaged 36?
Kobe?
Yeah.
No, that was Steve Nash year.
Yeah, that's
Nash.
crazy. Anyways, that's wild.
Well,
Anyways,
to be fair, the Lakers were what, a 6 seed?
dude, I don't care if they were a 10 seed. That's crazy. But is there anything else you want to talk about? I could go on a tangent about that, but is there anything else for the NBA?
I just say it's just I don't know what the definition of MVP is because it should be usually given to the person that helps their team out the most, no matter what situation they're in. But obviously criteria is you gotta be in the playoffs. You gotta be at least leading a league in one stat at least.
Hmm.
But I don't know what I don't know what the league wants anymore.
Yeah, that's a fair question. It's a fair point. All right, and before we wrap this podcast up, I did want, or actually, it was Mac's idea. Wanted to talk about some of the top 25s that have released that are a little questionable to some people. So I got 3 of them up right now, and I couldn't tell you who they're from, but I'll tell you as I pull them up. For the first one, and if you guys check our group chat, Mac sent them in there. It's a little. If you guys scroll up a little bit, actually no, you don't. It's right there. But the first one I'm looking at is Brandon Marcello's, and I'll just read the top 10. But on the stream they can see the top 30 for this one. It is Ohio State at 1, Georgia at 2, Oregon at 3, Ole Miss at 4, Texas at 5, Bama 6, Michigan 7, USC, the real one, at 8, Utah 9, and Penn State 10. And then I'll show this one as well. I'm not going to read this one, but that was just to get an idea of the teams that we're rocking with. Georgia, this is Dennis Dodds, Oregon, Texas, Bama, Ole Miss, Missouri, Notre Dame, Penn State, OSU, and then Ohio State, Georgia, and this Joel Klatz, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas, Oregon, Ole Miss, Utah, Bama, Michigan, Penn State, Missouri. All right. So I'm going to be honest. If there's any top 10 that has Penn State in the top 10, I immediately ignore it. And if you look at all 3 of these, they all 3 have Penn State in the top 10. That is a little crazy to me. I don't know how y'all feel about it.
Just like last year.
Yep.
Fluke bullshit.
And the year before, and the year before, and all the years before besides 2018.
Oh, man, you gotta, honestly, I mean, well, there's, I think the first one that I sent you, there's one, Marcello's, doesn't have Notre Dame in the top 30, which is insane.
I just realized that.
I mean,
oh my God.
I mean, hey, listen, say what you want about, Notre Dame. They definitely have a ceiling of beating the really good teams, but their schedule is really easy. And, I mean, they're in the 10 to 11 range, I feel like, almost every year.
Hmm.
Them and Penn State, I feel like they're identical, except one plays in a conference and one doesn't.
Yeah, call me crazy. I'm personally going to pick Notre Dame to beat Virginia Tech in a football game. That's just me. Maybe I'm alone.
Yeah.
I think they're a little better. Not in the top 30 is crazy. I didn't realize that. His Liberty over Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's the group. Yeah, it's a group of 5 team.
That's wild.
Yeah. No, I don't. Hey, listen, man. I don't know. Maybe maybe NC State with their new quarterback.
My God, dude. That's
Yeah.
wild. Kansas at 24 is a little questionable. I would have them higher, personally. Just me.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel. How do you guys feel about Ole Miss being consensus top 6?
Dude, their transfer class is insane. I don't hate it. It's basically going to have to be them. 10. Yeah, it's basically going to have to be them, prove it on the field type of thing. But, this is not last year's Ole Miss team. Like this Ole Miss team has an actual defensive line. Like they might legitimately have a defense now. Maybe not something on the level of Ohio State. Obviously, I think Ohio State will have the best defense this year, numbers wise. But just the
Ohio
fact
State might. Oh my! Oh, sorry to
oh no, you
interrupt
go.
you. Go ahead.
I was yapping.
Oh no, I was gonna say Ohio State might just straight up have the best roster
Yeah.
in the country. Their biggest question is Will Howard didn't win the job out of
Mm-hmm.
spring practices, which is a little concerning for them. But
Mm-hmm.
hey, when you basically have two head coaches running the offense,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's the only bad thing about Ohio State, or like their biggest concern is like they don't have that many questions, but their few questions happens to be one of the biggest on the field, like one of the most important positions, and that's what 2021 Georgia ran into. Like our biggest question was at quarterback, and how will Stetson play? Like yeah, just literally how will he be on the field? Like you can question everything before the season, but it's just will he show up on the field? And if he does, I mean he's got everything. Will Howard has everything around him to be successful. So all he's got to do is just really play mistake-free football, and they could probably win a national championship.
Yeah, how are we feeling about because I mean I feel like on paper every year they're trending up, and for some reason it just never works out with Miami. Like Miami, everyone expects them to take this big leap. Love me some Mario. He's a really good recruiter, but I don't know, man. Miami just like they should be better, but like they're like the ACC version of Texas A&M at this point.
I agree.
Yo,
I agree.
Like
I agree.
it's like you look at the roster and you're like they should be good, right? And then and they're in some lower level bowl game getting their ass kicked by Rutgers.
They lose a game to Georgia Tech, and then the season just kind of falls apart. I agree. I mean it.
Oh man.
I hate it for them because they're such a big brand, and they were such a big brand, and now they're just they just lose stupid games that make no
I
sense
think
whatsoever.
I have a certain theory of schools like that. Like I know they try to get how I put it the thugs out of Miami. I try to change the culture for the longest, and they done a good part doing that. But I always say, bro, it's like yo, if your school was great during the culture, like if they had that thug culture there at Miami, and that was like one of the greater years, and then they kind of cooled it down like in the early 2000s, but it was still dogs. The chain was just a little loose. Like, bring that back to the program. Like, don't be like Georgia and be having DUI.
Hey man, hey man, hey man, hey man, hey man.
It's
but
just something in the Athens IPA,
Hey
man.
man,
That, you
look,
just
when
can't,
you win a lot,
can't
you
go
like
the
to
road
party,
of
man. When you win a lot,
road
you
of
like
the
to party. You know,
culture.
look,
but
dang it.
I would just say have certain cultures or certain programs still run deep, so the program can still be like, yo, like you go to Miami, like if you get an offer from Miami, like everybody know, like, oh, you're a certain type of dog. It's like with Saban from all them years at Bama. It's like, yo, you get an offer from Bama. Oh, you already know what type of player he is. He's a dog.
Hmm.
Oh, you got an offer from Bama. I mean, from Georgia. Oh, he's a certain type of player. He's a dog.
Hmm.
Like, I don't think it should kill the culture, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I do hate it for Miami. I would love to see them be at the top, but so
Yeah, no.
my thing was glitching out. My bad. I had to fix it. No, but I've seen some where they had Utah in like really high. Like I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, Platt had them in the top 6.
Yeah,
Man, they're living off of that 2022, yeah, 2022 season where they won the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Man, Is Cam Rising like ever healthy?
No.
No, a lot of people talk about him and love him, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, do we think Washington should even be ranked? I know
No,
one of them has.
they lost so many people. No, I understand that they got the coach from Arizona and he's a really good coach, but they didn't get the QB and wide receiver from Arizona, and they had so many people transfer after DeBoer left. Or maybe I'm thinking of Arizona. I don't know. I think both teams had a lot of transfers though, so for right now, I don't think they should be ranked in the preseason, but that obviously doesn't cancel them out for being ranked eventually, because I mean they'll be playing. I think that they actually. I can't think if it's them or who it is, but one of the Big Ten teams plays LSU week 1, and maybe USC.
Oh yeah, I think it is USC.
Okay, it's USC.
They play in Nevada, I think.
And with Joel Klatt's top 10, that's 14 versus 15.
Yeah.
But I like all of the main top 10s top 5s that are up here. I'm whether you have Ohio State 1 and Georgia 1, I don't care. I'm fine with either. I don't think Oregon is the best team in the country. I think that they've got better for sure, but I don't think they're the best team in the country. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
The downfall of Oregon is going to be hilarious.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's gonna be a down. I don't know.
I think they get better. They upgraded the quarterback, so.
Hey, that's true. They did. Well, by a little bit. I mean, Dylan Gabriel is about to break Bo Nix's career starts record.
Yeah. I don't know. I do think
How
they
do
got
y'all
better
feel
though.
about LSU?
If they, I mean, obviously they're losing
They lost,
great
but
offensive
it's
pieces.
LSU. It's LSU. They piss out talent with
Yeah.
the amount of recruiting that they can do in state. I mean,
Yes.
it could be one of those down years like after they won the chip and they were just trying to rebuild, but I don't know. I think Brian Kelly's a better coach than Ogeron. So I don't know. They're not. I mean, they're not going to win the SEC or anything like that. But I mean,
No.
they'll be a bowl team probably.
I think the SEC championship is going to consist of any 4 of Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas, Bama, especially because Georgia, Texas, and Bama play each other. Well, I don't think Texas plays Bama, but Georgia plays all 3 of the teams I just mentioned. So there's any combination of the 4 of those teams are going to be in the SEC championship.
Do y'all see most of the SEC schools making a bowl game?
Yeah.
Yes, besides Florida.
Yeah. Besides Florida, Vanderbilt, Miss State.
I don't know about Arkansas. Yeah. Arkansas, it might be a 5-win team. I want to say it might.
I agree. I mean, they just lost their best player, so I agree.
Where did KJ go?
He went
UCF.
to. Oh yeah, he did go to UCF.
Oh.
With your old head coach. Oh, Gus.
Yep.
Oh, Gus is in Central Florida.
Gus took his bus down to Central Florida.
I want to see how that's going to work out because that's Gus's closest thing to Cam.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how he's going to use him.
That'd be interesting. Is there anything else y'all want to say quickly about the college football top 25s or anything really? Because I am about to have to go.
Most of the top 25s I'm seeing right now, I think they do it for shock value, but a team that I would like to hold up. Of course, my shit went away. Hold up, give me 1 second. A team that I would like to talk a little, well, just get y'all perspectives on is Clemson.
Well, we'll be able to tell with them week 1 because they play us. So we'll see.
That is true. Oh.
We'll see. They got a test right out the gate. First week they play us. So if they beat us, then sky's the limit. But
yeah, Clemson and Missouri. I always watch their games. Clemson, Missouri, and like FSU, I always watch their games. But I'm definitely keeping an eye out to see how like their program going to do this year.
I think
especially Missouri.
I think Missouri. Well, I don't know what their schedule's looking like, but if we're talking like playoff, like playing, the top teams wise, they may have a little drop off because they did lose some pretty key guys on defense, but I still think they're going to be a really good team. It'll just all depend on their schedule.
Yeah, I don't know. Clemson, it feels like more of the same. It feels like you're going to be between 8 to 9 wins, and that's just because they don't utilize the transfer portal because of Dabo. Dabo is just never going to change. They'll recruit well. Yeah, but it'll probably be them and Florida State in the ACC title game, barring anything crazy like that. That's what it should be.
Watch out for Miami.
Hey, listen, you can't. Hey,
watch out for Cal.
Hey, listen, shout out to the Golden Bears. They've been killing it in the transfer portal. Talk about teams that have been nailing the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you can also never forget the world beaters of Stanford. I mean,
of course,
you never know.
The all of a sudden the educational giant of the ACC.
Andrew Luck is coming back. One more year. One
more year. But yeah, Mizzou's schedule actually I think is pretty brutal. I know for a fact they play us in Bryant Denny for I think it's homecoming.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, they're losing that. Sorry. Sorry, Mizzou, you're losing that game.
But yeah, no, I got no more to say. Honestly, maybe I'll spend like 30 seconds talking about this. Maybe in a couple months when they actually allow you to do the playoff simulator thing that you can do for pretty much every sport. You can predict the schedule.
Yeah.
We should make a separate live stream for a few teams.
I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah.
All right, cool. All I want to say.
But IC got anything?
Nah.
All right. Well, thank y'all for coming out tonight. To everybody who did. That is going to wrap up episode 14. For episode 15, we will post about it whenever it's happening. I will make a post about it for sure. I'll try to make one earlier than whenever we actually do it to give everybody a heads up. But sorry, I had a pop-up ad. All right. Thank y'all for coming out. Again, subscribe to the YouTube, please. Like the stream. And follow all of us on Twitter at 23rd Wonder, at Drake2Baker, and at Chandluh with an X, CHXNLUH. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Peace.